I was cooking breakfast when someone knocked. Not a soft knock. It had weight, intention. When I opened the door, a woman stood there, badge on her chest, gun at her side, eyes made of stone. "Sir," she said, "your wife was involved in a fatal shooting 2 hours ago." I laughed, not because it was funny, but because it made no sense. "No," I said, "she's in the garage working on her car." The detective didn't blink. Her hand drifted closer to her holster. "Sir, please step aside." I did, slowly. The smell of burnt toast filled the silence as we walked down the hall together, her boots thudding against the wood floor. My chest felt hollow, my thoughts heavy and slow, like I was stuck inside a dream I couldn't wake from. At the garage door, I hesitated. "She's right inside." I told her. The detective drew her weapon. When the door creaked open, the scent hit first, sharp, metallic, unmistakable. The car door was ajar, the seat empty. Her phone sat on the workbench. Screen shattered, streaked with blood. That's when the detective muttered under her breath, almost to herself, "Sir, if anything happened, you'd know why." Grief didn't come right away, only confusion, then suspicion, because Lydia, my wife, was never careless. She calculated everything. Her words, her tone, even her silence. She could lie without a blink, smile while bleeding. That morning, before the knock on the door, she had said something strange while pouring her coffee. "If something ever happens to me, don't believe what they tell you." I thought she was being dramatic. We fought the night before about money, about a trip she claimed was for work. But Lydia didn't really work, not in any normal sense. She'd disappear for days, sometimes weeks, come back quieter each time, once with bruises on her wrist, another time with a thick stack of cash. I used to think she was cheating. Now, I wasn't sure what word fit anymore. When the police left, I stayed calm, answered every question, signed their forms. Then, when the house went silent, I started digging. Her phone was locked, but the blood on her finger had smeared the sensor. It unlocked on the second try. Messages, hundreds of them. A man named Elias. No last name, no photo. E, everything's ready. He can't know. L, he won't. He never does. I scrolled to the conversation, coded phrases, bank transfers, coordinates, and one video. Grainy, distant, Lydia sitting in a car. But the man beside her wasn't Elias. It was Detective Merrow, the same woman who'd told me Lydia was dead. That night, I couldn't sleep. I replayed her words over and over. If anything happened, you'd know why. Maybe it wasn't a warning. Maybe it was an invitation. 2 days later, the autopsy report arrived. Gunshot wound to the chest. Close range. No defensive marks. But one thing was wrong, the timestamp. The time of death came before Merrow ever knocked on my door, meaning Lydia was already dead when the detective claimed she'd been involved in a shooting. I took the phone to a friend, a tech analyst I trusted. Within an hour, he found it. GPS data, her final call. The night before she died, Lydia had met Merrow at a motel off Route 6. The call lasted 12 minutes. Then nothing. Later, I sat in my car outside the precinct, watching rain smear across the windshield. The lights inside flickered like ghosts. Just past midnight, Merrow walked out, alone, calm, like someone who'd already buried the evidence. When she saw me across the lot, our eyes locked. She smiled. It wasn't friendly. I didn't shout, didn't threaten. I just waited. The next day, I filed a quiet request. Internal Affairs. Merrow's record. Turns out she'd been investigated before, tampering with evidence, coercing suspects. Every case conveniently buried. So, I did what Lydia would have done. I turned the knife, slowly. I sent her superiors the footage, the video of her and Lydia together, along with timestamps, location data, cell tower matches. No message, no name, just truth. 2 days later, her suspension hit the headlines. Officer under investigation in civilian death. They didn't mention Lydia's name. They didn't have to. That evening, Merrow came back. No uniform this time, no badge. Just rage and exhaustion in her eyes. You think you know who she was? She said. I know enough, I replied. She used us both, Marrow said. And now you're paying for it. She trembled jaw tight, then whispered, You have no idea what she did. You're right, I said, closing the door. But I know what you did to her. The latch clicked shut like a coffin ceiling. Weeks later, the truth came out. Lydia's name appeared again, buried inside classified federal files. She was an informant. Marrow was her handler. And me? I was the fool. They both used to stay clean. In the end, they killed Lydia to erase what she knew, evidence that could destroy them both. I thought I'd feel grief. Instead, I felt balance. Lydia lied to me in life. Marrow lied to me in justice. And I lied to them both by keeping silent. There's peace in knowing the story is over, even if every part of it was built on lies. I still make breakfast every morning, still hear that knock echoing in my head. But when I close my eyes, I don't see Lydia's face anymore. I see hers, the detective, and the look she gave when she finally realized. Lydia might be gone, but I was still watching.